Good morning, children. Welcome to your English class. I hope all of you are doing very well. Today in our class, we are going to start Marigold book. In today's class, we are going to discuss Unit 6. Unit 6. As usual, this unit has one poem and another story. We will discuss both of them. First, we will know the names. The name of the poem is Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody. And the name of the story is CURLYLOCKS and the Three Bears. CURLYLOCKS and the Three Bears. Now, I will start with the poem first. Now, children, please look at this picture over here. This is the picture of a kid, but we cannot see its face. So, this is a kid with a hidden face. The poem is also about such mysterious man, Mr. Nobody. So let's start. I will first read the poem to you and then I will discuss the meaning. Please open Unit 6, poem Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody. I know a funny little man, as white as a mouse, who does the mischief that is done in everybody's house. There's no one ever sees his face, and yet we all agree that every plate we break was cracked by Mr. Nobody. So this is the poem. The actual poem was 3 stanzas long, but you have only the first stanza. Now children, you know that this poem is about Mr. Nobody. He is a mysterious man. There's no one who has seen the face of Mr. Nobody. He lives in everybody's house, and Mr. Nobody is as quiet as a mouse. Now children, you have definitely seen mouse in your house. The mouse is so quiet that we do not understand where it is or where it is making mischief. But when the mischief is done, we know that there was a mouse. So, Mr. Nobody is also as quiet as the mouse. Nobody knows where he is or how he looks like, but he is there in everybody's house. Then the poet tells us that we all agree that every plate that has been cracked are done by Mr. Nobody. Children, have you ever broken any glass or any plate? What do you do then? You just escape the blame. We say that we don't know who has done this. Mr. Nobody is that person that we put our blame on. So, everybody, you, me and others, put the blame of mischief on Mr. Nobody. But we do not know where he is or how he looks like. but he is there in everybody's house. So, who is Mr. Nobody? Nobody knows. But he is there with us, because every time we do some mischief, we say we don't know. Somebody else has done that, and that is Mr. Nobody. So, this was the poem. I am reciting the poem once again. Please read after me. Mr. Nobody. I know a funny little man, as quiet as a mouse, who does the mischief that is done in everybody's house. There's no one ever sees his face, and yet we all agree that every plate we break was cracked by Mr. Nobody. So, this was the poem. Now we will start the story. I will read the story and I will explain it to you. So first, we have already seen who are the main characters. They are Curlylocks, that is a girl, and a family of 3 bears. So let's start. Once there was a girl with curly hair. This is the girl with curly hair. The hair is not straight, it is curly. So the name is Curlylocks. One day she went into the forest. So she went inside a forest. She saw a cottage. Is anybody in? She asked. So now the girl is asking, is anybody there inside the cottage which she has seen inside the forest? There was nobody. The bear family lived in the cottage. They had gone for a walk. So, this is the cottage of a bear family. But they were not inside the cottage because they were outside walking. Now, Curlylock went in. She wanted to see who lived there. Curlylocks didn't know who lived inside that cottage. So she went inside to find out whose cottage was that. Now she saw 3 bowls of porridge on the table. So inside that cottage there was a table, and Curlylocks saw 3 bowls of porridge. There was a big bowl for Papa Bear, a middle bowl for the Mama Bear, and a tiny little bowl for Baby Bear. So there were 3 different sizes of bowls. The big bowl is for the father, the middle bowl is for the mother, and the tiny little bowl is for the baby bear. So it was placed on the table. Curlylocks was very hungry. She ate the porridge from the big bowl. It was very hot. She ate from the middle bowl. It was too cold. And she ate from the tiny little bowl. It was just right. So she was very hungry and she started to eat the porridge from the bowls. The porridge of the first bowl was very hot, whereas the middle bowl was too cold. But the little bowl had the perfect porridge. Curlylocks ate all. Now what did she do? There was a big bed for Papa Bear, a middle-sized bed for Mama Bear, and a tiny little bed for Baby Bear. Next, she went inside the bedroom. What did she see? She saw 3 beds. The first big bed was for the father. The second middle-sized bed was for the mother, and the tiny bed was for the baby bear. Now, the big bed was very hard. So, Curlylocks slept first on the big bed. That was for the father, but it was very hard. Now, the middle-sized bed was too soft. When she tried the next bed, that is the middle bed, that is for the mother, it was too soft. Now, the tiny little bed, that was just right. So, Curlylocks did what? Curlylocks slept on the tiny bed. That was for the baby bear. Now Curlylocks fell asleep in the tiny little bed. The bear family came back. "Somebody ate my porridge," shouted Papa Bear in his big gruff voice. Now while Curlylocks was sleeping, the bear family came back. And what happened? Papa Bear found out that his porridge was gone, and he said with his gruff voice that my porridge is gone. Somebody ate my porridge. "Somebody ate my porridge too," said Mother Bear. "Somebody finished all my porridge," said the baby bear in his tiny little voice. After that, Mother Bear and the little tiny bear, both of them saw that their porridge were gone too. "Now, somebody slept in my bed," shouted Papa Bear in his big rough voice. When they went inside the bedroom, Papa Bear discovered that somebody slept in his bed. So he shouted. After that, Mother Bear and the little bear said, "What?" "Somebody slept in my bed too," said Mama Bear. "Somebody is sleeping in my bed," said Baby Bear in his tiny little voice. Now the Mama Bear also discovered that somebody was slept in her bed. And what the little tiny bear discovered? He saw that somebody was sleeping in his bed. So he said that in his little voice. Curlylocks woke up. She saw 3 bears. She jumped down and ran out of the cottage as fast as she could. Now Curlylocks was awakened by their voices, and when she opened her eyes, she saw 3 bears talking. Now she became very afraid and she ran away from that cottage as fast as she could. So this was the story. Now this story has been adapted from Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. This story is adapted from the original story, and the name of the original story is Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. So this was the story about Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. I hope you have understood the story. So children, please read the story and try to discover the meaning. I will end my class here. I will meet you in my next class. Till then, take care and goodbye.